Well, we're back here and we're looking a little bit into the world of UV curing or curing in as a whole. And I'm here at a company called Hönle. It's a German company, and I'm talking to their director, sales director, Volker. Hello, Volker, and
Sure.
good day.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome.
Well, of course, as I just said, if we're printing UV or other technologies also, in Flexo and others, and you're doing UV or lab UV, curing is of the essence. So what do you guys at Hönle bring to the table?
Okay. I mean, as you say, curing, you are fully right. It's not only curing, it's curing and drying. What do we do at Hönle? Hönle is a rather big company. We are about 600 people, about 100 million turnover in annual turnover. And we have our three business units, how we call it. The business unit curing, which is here. Business unit adhesives, technical adhesives, which you see in displays, in mobile phones, in various electronics, etc., etc. So we do the adhesives and the curing part for that. And we have the business unit disinfection. The name says it, it's about disinfection of surfaces, of three-dimensional parts for the food industry and that.
And how much, let's say, it's the printing industry part of your turnover?
Yeah, absolutely.
What percentage are we looking at, you would say?
Well, I don't have the exact figure available, but I would guess it's somewhere towards half of it, roughly.
Okay.
So curing is an essential part for Hönle. We are on the market since 50 years, roughly, and we do our technology for, let me say, the whole area, whatever needs to be cured. So we are starting with very small items, very small LED curing devices for the adhesives, and going up to more than 2 meters wide systems, which you find in the printing industry, in the converting industry, like flooring, like wooden floors, like PVCs, and also, of course, in sheet fed printing.
Yeah. So let's concentrate on the printing part.
Yep.
You mentioned UV. You have LED UV.
Correct.
So what would you say is in vogue, as they say, in our industry? Is it true they are more leaning towards the LEDs now, or how do you see it?
Let's say, judging on what are people talking about it. There's a lot of talk about LED for certain. If we really look on numbers and figures, it's not that strong yet. I mean, we do what we also mention here, the entire spectrum of curing and drying, as I have to say. So what do? We are doing, on one hand, classic UV systems with medium pressure lamps, which offer a very wide range, a wide spectrum. We do our own lamps, own power supplies, own reflectors, everything. That's all done in-house. We do LED systems, which you see on many inkjet presses and also sheet-fed presses, etc. What you see over here, from the small ones, from the pinning, for really powerful ones, for final curing. Even here on the show, you see at a booth called Gramak behind us, where our Jet Cure LED system is in live operation. But we also do infrared and thermal air drying. I mean, for water-based inks, water-based coatings, you need heat, you need air, and you need really the understanding how to get the water out of the ink and how to get it out of the area. Because it's not only about heat and airflow, it's really requires the understanding
Chemistry as well.
how it behaves. And I mean, we do all that. So this is our, let me say, our core knowledge, our core understanding. We have special areas. We can do all that also with, for example, nitrogen inertization, which is a great technology for some applications. As we say, it's the entire spectrum, the very broad spectrum. Yeah.
But maybe I'm curious, because I hear a lot of people that use UV lamps and other LEDs, anyways, the curing. And I always hear, the lamps are always on in some cases, and then we have, from our experience, we see when, let's say, the lamps are dropping in quality or intensity. But you guys, you came up, or you have like a special scanning system. You call it Max, I think.
Correct.
What's that all about?
Okay.
How can you measure things, or how do you go about it?
It's a good question. And I like the question because it brings me to a product at the end. A common, let me say, issue with a UV lamp is it's getting older. When it gets older, the energy drops down due to the aging of the quad material, but you can't visibly see that. And you can't see that on electrical data. So you need to measure. And if you don't measure, you're always running in a, let me say, in a guessing mode. And that's critical. Not enough energy means not enough curing, which could cause a major issue with the product. And we developed together with a company which is a startup in Germany, the UV Scan Max. It's brand new. It's visible just right here.
Right.
It looks very small.
It's like a spectrophotometer or something, yeah?
It is practically, it's measuring strips. So you have those strips which you stick on a web or a sheet or whatever it is. Basically, you run it through the line and you measure the UV dosage with this tool. That's something which is not completely new. Measuring strips are on the market since 30 years.
Yeah.
But there is a big difference. The old ones, they always had a color change when they got irradiated. And this technology had the, I would say, disadvantage after storing them for 4, 6, 8 weeks.
The coloration, decoloration, yeah.
And with those ones here, it's a physical measurement. It's not a color change anymore. It's a phosphorescence method behind that, patented by the way. We can calibrate each stripe prior to the measurement. And that means for the operator, he can store them just normal conditions for 2, 3, 4 months. You calibrate it and then you measure. So you have the exact data. What is also important, there is one UV dosage measurement device in the industry, which is provided by the company EIT 2.0, the Power Pack tube. It's used at every ink supplier, every coating supplier. And this device, you can't run it through a press. And our stripes from the UV Scan Max, they have an absolutely correlation with the Power Pack. And this is such a core thing because it allows either a printer, but also an ink supplier to say, go to your machine, measure the dosage, and they know what they need by the Power Pack. And that gives really a perfect tool to say, okay, we know exactly what we have and we know where we are.
So it's all quality enhancement and standardization, I would say.
It's about quality, about safety, about documentation of safety, and it's simple. Right. And that was also another thing where we said we don't have...
It's a requirement from the industry, so make life more easy for them.
I mean, we know how the industry is. You do not have this highly qualified, trained printer always on a production line. You need to have tools like that done in a way that they can be handled by basically everybody, which is able to push a button. And that's basically what it is.
Well, it's great to hear that you guys are, let's say, handling that part of the problem as well. Yeah. So Volker, thank you so much for the little insights on also in the UV space and curing and drying. So best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
We have a solution whenever it's needed. Go in touch with us. You can find us globally.
You heard it here on Inkish. Thank you. See you in the next one.